إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وأحسن الهدى هدى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Indeed, all praise and thanks belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We praise Him, we seek His help, and we ask for His forgiveness. Whomsoever Allah guides to the straight path, there is none that can misguide or mislead. And whomsoever He leads to go astray, whomsoever He allows to stray off, there is none that can guide upright. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I bear witness that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one and only who deserves to be worshipped. There's nothing worthy of worship, no object, nothing except for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone without any partner. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is His slave and messenger. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. Or you believe, have taqwa of Allah. Fear Allah. Have a shield, the barrier between you and Allah's punishment. And always speak the truth. If you do so, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide you to righteous and good deeds, and He will forgive you your sins. Whosoever obeys Allah and His messenger has indeed achieved the greatest success. And indeed, the best of speeches is the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the best of guidance, and the best of examples is that of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And the worst of things, the worst of affairs are those which are innovated in the religion. New things added to the deen. And for every innovation in the religion is the bid'ah. And every bid'ah is going astray, is the misguidance. And every going astray, every misguidance, eventually will lead to the hellfire. وَلِعَذْبِ اللَّهِ. Ikhwani wa akhawati, one day the Sahaba, the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, they were sitting down amongst each other, with one another. And they were talking about the Dajjal, the Antichrist. And they were telling each other what they had heard from the Prophet ﷺ previously about the dangers of the Dajjal, the Antichrist. And they mentioned that the Prophet ﷺ, he had said to them, مَا مِنْ نَبِيٍّ إِلَّا وَقَدْ حَضَّرَ أُمَّتَهُ الدَّجَّالَ حَتَّى النُّورِ. He said, every prophet, every messenger that has come before me has warned their nations, has warned their people about the Dajjal, even Prophet Nuh alayhi salam. So, after hearing and telling each other that they knew about the Dajjal, they became very scared and terrified. In fact, they became worried. So the Prophet alayhi salam came to see what they were doing, and he saw a group of them, a group of people that looked scared, they were terrified. So he asked them, what's the matter? What's wrong with you guys? Why you look so worried? They told him that they were talking about the coming of the Dajjal, the coming of the Antichrist, and that they were worried and concerned. So the Prophet ﷺ said, and this will be our khutbah today, أَلَا أُخْبِرُكُمْ بِمَا هُوَ أَخْوَفُ عَلَيْكُمْ عِنْدِي مِنَ الْمَسِيحِ الدَّجَّالِ. He said, do you know something that is more terrifying and more scary for me, that I fear for my ummah, for my community, even more than the Dajjal? They said, Ya Rasulullah, what is that? What is it? What could it be that is more scary? He said, Ashirk al-Khafi, the hidden shirk. The hidden shirk. Shirk meaning to worship something along with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But in this sense, this shirk is hidden. It's hidden, you cannot see it. It's not physical, you're not bowing down to an idol, for example. So they asked him, what do you mean by hidden shirk? What do you mean by shirk and khafi? He said, أن يقوم الرجل يصلي فيزين صلاته لما يرى من نظر رجل. He said that when a man stands up to pray, and then he sees that someone is looking at him while he's praying, so he beautifies his prayer at this point. When he notices other people are looking at him pray, he tries to beautify it. So he started to say, is that Allahu Akbar? He ended the prayer, intending what? Intending Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why he's praying to Allah Azza wa Jalla. And then he finds someone looking at him in the masjid. He notices that someone is looking at him, and all of a sudden he straightens his back, and then he starts to make his recitation longer, just so he can see it. And then he knows that there's people listening, so he starts with the longest surahs he knows. He makes them nice, and then, whereas if he was to be alone, this person would probably recite Qul Huwallahu Ahad in his rak'ah, or in A'tayna Kal-Kawthar. But because he notices someone is paying attention to him while he's praying, he starts with the longest surah. So this is how the Prophet ﷺ described hidden shirk. Hidden shirk, shirk al-khafi, or minor shirk as it is known as well. So purify your acts of worship for other people. While your acts of worship should be only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You should be sincerely doing what you do of ibadat for Allah azza wa jalla. So this is what riyah, this is what showing off is. So it is to corrupt your intention, and to intend others besides Allah Jalla wa Ala, so that they think well of you. MashaAllah, this guy, look at him, what a good Muslim. Look how nice he prays. Look at him, he's so righteous. They say good things about you. So you're not praying to something or someone else, no. You're praying to Allah, but you put this hidden shirk in it. You're not bowing down to an idol, like I said. Because that would be major shirk. That would take you out of Islam. This minor shirk does not take a person out of Islam. It does not expel a person from Islam, but it is indeed a great sin. If you bow down to others, or declare that the ubudiyyah of Allah belongs to somebody else, or that somebody else shares within the ubudiyyah of Allah, this might take a person outside of Islam. But here we're talking about a minor form of shirk. So there's a dual intention here. Deep down inside, you're doing it for Allah. When you're praying, you're doing it for Allah, deep down inside. That's why you're praying to begin with. But there's also the intention to gain praise, to make people think that you're a holy or pious or a good person. And this is what we call showing off or riyah in Arabic. And we must realize that continuous riyah or showing off is actually a sign of a munafiq. It is a sign of a pure hypocrite. Everything that he does for the people, so that people can see it. He comes to the masjid for the people. He volunteers at various events so people think good of him and that he's righteous. But he's not doing it for Allah, while he should be doing it for Allah. He gives money so people see him and say, MashaAllah, look at what a charitable person this person is. He gives so much charity. He only does it so people speak about him in that manner. And if a person's entire deeds, entire actions suffer from riyah, if everything he does is just to show off, then this person is clearly a munafiq. He is a hypocrite. May Allah protect us from that. So the Prophet ﷺ, he told us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Hadith Qudsi, أَنَا أَغْنَى الْأَغْنِيَاءِ مِنَ الشِّرْكِ. Allah says in Hadith Qudsi, I am the one that is the least in need of partnership. The least in need of partnership. I don't need to share anything with anybody. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, مَنْ عَمِلَ عَمَلًا أَشْرَكَ مَعِي فِيهِ غَيْرِي تَرَكْتُهُ وَشِرْكَهُ. He said, so that anyone that does something to please me, and to please someone else other than me, I leave him to his partner. So the shirk and I leave him to his partner, and let his partner give him the reward. Let his partner give him the reward. So, a person stands to pray, and then recites the longest surah he knows, just to impress other people who are around him, people who are paying attention to him. He doesn't realize that his whole prayer will be thrown back to his face. Because he's doing it for other than Allah. And this is the dangers of hidden shirk. SubhanAllah. Or, for example, when there is a fundraiser and somebody writes that massive check, he donates. And his intention is that his name will be announced to everyone. Dr. so-and-so, mashallah, Dr. Fulan ibn Fulan has donated this much amount of money. He's so generous, mashallah, so righteous. So that's what he's looking for. SubhanAllah, just so his name is announced to the people so they say good things about him. And this is when we have a big problem. The problem that the Prophet ﷺ said, that he was more worried about that than the fitna of the Dajjal himself. And there's a very powerful hadith which is related by in Sahihain, in Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, that shows us the dangers of showing off your good deeds to other people. The Prophet ﷺ tells us that the very first people who will be judged on the day of judgment will be the shaheed first, the martyr, then the alim or the qari, the hafiz, the scholar, okay, the reciter of the Quran, and then thirdly, the charitable person, the mutasaddiq, the one who gives charity. He said these people will be first judged on the day of judgment. And as everyone is looking at them, they will think that Allah is rewarding them. They will think that Allah is rewarding them. Come on, up front, these people first. What would you think? It goes to your mind that they will be rewarded because they were a scholar, the reciter of the Quran, the person who gives sadaqah, so on. So the first person to be brought forth will be the martyr, the shaheed. And Allah Azza wa Jalla will ask him. He says, what have you done with the blessings that I have given you? What have you done with the blessings that I have provided for you? He will say, قَتَلْتُ بِكَ حَتَّى اسْتُشْهِدْ. He said, I fought for you, Ya Allah, until I was martyred, until I was killed in your path. What will Allah say to him? He said, كَذَبْتَ كَذَبْتَ وَلَكِنَّكَ قَتَلْتَ لِيُقَالَ جَرِيء فَقَدْ قِيلَ. He said, you're lying. Allah says to him, you're lying. He was martyred. You're lying. You only did it so people will call you brave. Just so people will call you brave. And they did. They did that. So you got your reward from them. Go get your reward from those people, not from me. SubhanAllah. So, ثُمَّ أُمِرَ بِهِ فَسُحِبَ عَلَى وَجْهِهِ حَتَّى أُلْقِيَ فِي النَّارِ. Then he will be dragged on his face until he is thrown into the hellfire. He will be dragged on his face. وَجْعَلُ بِاللَّهِ وَرَجُلٌ تَعَلَّمَ الْعِلْمَ وَعَلَّمَهُ وَقَرَأَ الْقُرْآنَ. And then the scholar and the hafiz of the Quran, Allah will ask him, what have you done with the blessings that I have given you? What have you done with those blessings, with those bounties? He will say, تَعَلَمْتُ الْعِلْمَ وَعَلَمْتُهُ وَقَرَأْتُ فِيكَ الْقُرْآنَ. He says that I have studied, I learned knowledge, ilm, and I taught that knowledge to other people. And I recited the Quran for your sake. What will Allah say to him? What will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say to this person? كذلك ولكنك تعلمت العلم وعلمته وقرأت القرآن ليقال وقارئ فقد قيل. So you're lying. Allah says to this person, كذلك, you're lying as well. You only did that so people will say he's a qari, that he is a reciter, mashallah. He's a scholar and a hafiz. And they did that. They said that about you. So you got your reward from them, not from me. None from me, subhanAllah. ثُمَّ أُمِرَ بِهِ فَسُحِبَ عَلَى وَجْهِهِ حَتَّى أُلْقِيَ فِي النَّارِ. The same thing again. Then he will be dragged on his face until he is thrown into the hellfire. And the same with the charitable person, the person who gave sadaqah. He will be asked again by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what have you done with the blessings that I have given you? With the ni'mah that I have given you. He will say, مَا تَرَكْتُ مِنْ سَبِيلٍ تُحِبُّ أَنْ يُنْفَقَ فِيهَا إِلَّا أَنْفَقْتُ فِيهَا لَكَ. He said, I did not leave away a sabil in which you love money to be spent, Ya Allah. You love money to be spent on those things, except that I spent my money for your sake. What will Allah say? He will say, كَذَّبْتَ, you're lying. وَلَكِنَّكَ فَعَلْتَ لِيُقَالَ هُوَ جَوَادٌ فَقَدْ قِيلَ. He said, you're lying. You only did that so people will say, he is generous. Jawad. He's generous, mashallah, he gives. And they did. That's what they did say. So you got your reward from them, not from me. ثُمَّ أُمِرَ بِهِ فَسُحِبَ عَلَى وَجْهِهِ حَتَّى أُلْقِيَ فِي النَّارِ. Then the same, he will be dragged on his face until he is thrown into the fire of hell. وَلِيَعْذُ بِاللَّهِ. And so, they will be the first people to enter the fire of hell, subhanAllah. Why? The question is why? Because their intentions were corrupt. Their niyyah was corrupted. SubhanAllah. They wanted to show off their Ar-Rahman. They wanted to show off their good deeds to other people. And because of that, they will be thrown into the hellfire. So we need to make sure that we are not that person. This is the message of the khutbah today. We need to make sure that we're not one of those people. SubhanAllah, may Allah protect us. That's total on the day of judgment, you're lying. So basically you wasted your whole life, and all your deeds will be thrown back at your face. May Allah protect us from that. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. So after mentioning some of the things about riyah, about showing off, now we want to talk about how to avoid it. How to avoid riyah, how to avoid showing off. So how do we avoid showing off? How do we avoid getting down this dangerous path which leads to the hellfire, as we can see? We will mention a few of them. First, constantly, continuously check your intentions. Check your intentions and always doubt your sincerity. Doubt your ikhlas. Doubt it. Maybe I'm not sincere. Doubt your ikhlas. And one of the scholars of the past who said, a sign of sincerity is to always doubt your sincerity. And the sign of insincerity, the opposite, is to be sincere about your sincerity. SubhanAllah. So, if you're worried about your sincerity, and if you constantly ask yourself, am I doing this for the sake of Allah? Is this fi sabilillah? Am I doing this for the sake of Allah? So to be conscious of it. To be conscious of it. It shows that you have recognized the problem, and that you're trying to fight it. And that this is a good thing as well, that this is a sign that you want to be sincere. You want to be mukhlis. Now, if you're not worried, and our sharia, of course, is for the sake of Allah, just like that, where you don't even care, then this is a big problem. It's a big mushkilah. And this is an ongoing battle until the day that you die, no matter how righteous and pious that you are. It does not matter. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows if you are sincerely sincere. Like, we have to constantly purify our hearts. Purify our hearts constantly. Second thing, knowledge and ilm. Seeking knowledge about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Islam. Seeking knowledge about your deen. The more knowledge you have, the more difficult it is for shaitan to cause you to go astray. The more difficult it is for him to set you up in his traps. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءِ. It is only the scholars, or people who have knowledge, that fear Allah, that have the khashya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the more knowledge we have, the stronger we will be against the disease of riyah, of showing off. Third point, constantly asking Allah to cleanse your heart. اللهم طهر قلبي من النفاق ومن الرياء. Ask Allah to purify your heart from nifaq, from hypocrisy, and from showing off. So constantly ask Allah for ikhlas. Constantly seek forgiveness for being insincere, for insincerity. And we have to beg Allah Azza wa Jal to grant us ikhlas, and we have to seek refuge with Him from the opposite insincerity. And the Prophet ﷺ taught us as well. The Prophet ﷺ taught us a supplication that we can say, Allahumma inna na'udhu bika an nushrika bik shay'an na'lamu. It says, oh Allah, we seek refuge with you from committing shirk. Okay, with you while we know and are aware of it. وَنَسْتَغْفِرُكَ لِمَا لَا نَعْلَمُ. And we ask you to forgive us if we do this intentionally. We don't know it. So this is the dua that we should learn. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من أن نشرك بك شيئا نعلمه ونستغفرك لما لا نعلمه. In other words, Ya Allah, I seek refuge with you from committing shirk intentionally, and I ask your forgiveness if I do so unintentionally. So this is a dua that we should know and we should use every day, inshallah. It should be a part of our daily lives. The fourth point is to increase one's good deeds. To increase doing good actions. Doing good when no one sees you. This is how you increase your ikhlas. Doing good when no one is watching you. One of the signs of showing off is that a person lives two different lives. Okay? That's what two-faced person we say. In front of everyone, mashallah. Everybody praises him, he's a pious person, he's a solid. But when you go behind the closed doors, in the middle of the night, on your computer, you might be a different person, totally, than what people think of you. That's only Allah knows that. So you have to do private deeds that are good. Okay? Increasing those private deeds where people don't see you. So what do? You make up in your private time by doing extra good deeds. You do good deeds when no one is looking at you. For example, let's say you gave charity. You gave $1,000 at a fundraiser. Everyone said takbir, mashallah, Allahu Akbar. Now, after that, go online to a charity that no one knows about it except Allah. Donate to a charity that no one knows about it. So do that online again. For example, this is a suggestion. So you purify yourself from shirk al-khafi, from showing off to people. And the true believer, his public and private state are exactly the same. The way he is in the masjid, he is at home. That's a true believer. Not he comes here, mashallah, is praying, but at home he goes and beats his wife. Or beats his children. Or he's unjust. SubhanAllah. So the believer is the same in both states. So by increasing your good deeds, in secret, in private, this is one of the strongest ways to battle this disease, to battle insincerity. Another point we need to mention is, when people praise you and they speak well of you, mashallah, don't let that fool you. Don't let that fool you. Rather, you know yourself better than they do. So don't let that fool you. So reflect on your shortcomings and the sins that only you know. When someone praises you, throw this onto yourself, inside of you, and remind yourself who you really are. This is why Abu Bakr al-Siddiq, radiallahu anhu, when people praise him in his faith, he used to say, Allahumma la tu'akhirni bima yaqulun, wa aghfir li ma la ya'lamun, waj'alni khayran bima yadhunnun. He said, do not take me to death, O Allah. Don't take me to account for what they say, what they're saying about me. And forgive me for that which they don't know about me. And make me better than what they think of me. SubhanAllah. This is a great dua that Abu Bakr al-Siddiq radiallahu anhu said. Now the problem many of us fall into while trying to avoid this problem, this riyah, this showing off, is the other side of riyah. I'll explain it. It means you avoid doing good deeds altogether. You stop doing good just because you're afraid that people will say, or that you're afraid that you might be insincere. For example, you're at the fundraiser, again, the fundraising examples, and you want to donate something. You want to give some charity. Shaitan comes to you and he says, don't do it. You're just doing it to show off. You can donate from online or something. Go home, donate from online. So donate it privately. That's what Shaitan is giving you the suggestion of doing. Or he says, sit down, don't pray. Because there's some people there, they see you praying. Shaitan comes to you with these suggestions. Or don't volunteer at a good event. Don't volunteer for a good cause. Don't attend that class. Don't do this, don't do that. Don't come to the masjid to pray the salawat. Don't go to a desk because you're showing off or something. This is all from Shaitan. So these are tricks of Shaitan. If he can't corrupt your intention, what will he try to do? He will try to get you to leave off doing hasanat. He will try to make you leave off the good deeds, and that's the goal of Shaitan. So what do you do in this case? You get up, you do that good deed, but you fix your intention by turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You fix your intention by turning sincerely to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. And many scholars have mentioned that if you leave off a good deed, a hasanah, because of people, then this is in itself riyah. In fact, it is part of riyah. It is showing off itself, subhanAllah. So with that said, ikhwani wa akhwati, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ وَمَلَائِكَتَهُ يُصَلُّونَ عَلَى النَّبِيِّ يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا صَلُّوا عَلَيْهِ وَسَلِّمُوا تَسْلِيمًا اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the good in this life and the good of the next life and to save us from the fire of hell. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك أن نشرك بك شيئا نعلمه ونستغفرك لما لا نعلمه. And we seek refuge, we seek protection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from committing shirk with Him unintentionally. And we seek His forgiveness if we do so intentionally. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show us the truth as truth and to allow us to follow it. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show us falsehood as clear as falsehood and to help us stay away from it. اللهم اجعل عملنا كله صالحا ولوجهك خالصا ولا تجعل فيه لغيرك شيئا. Likewise, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make all of our deeds, all of our righteous deeds, only for Him, for His sake alone, subhanahu wa ta'ala. اللهم اعز الإسلام والمسلمين وذل الشرك والمشركين. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين في كل مكان. With that, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant izzah, to grant honor to the religion, to Islam and to the Muslims. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for victory and to aid, to help our oppressed brothers wherever they are. Will Allah be with them and forgive them and make it easy for them. وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.